Will he make similar pledges? Should he have another opportunity to nominate someone? For example, there's never been an Asian American justice or an LGBTQ justice. So will he make a similar pledge?
I don't have any new pledges to announce for you, but I think I would point you to his record, which speaks to his commitment to ensuring the court is more diverse.
Chinese company Andon Health owns iHealth, which is one of the providers. They signed a $1.3 billion contract with the Pentagon last month for these tests. The administration concerned about sort of both the sort of optics and messaging of sending something to Americans' homes says made in China on it, at the same time that you're, doing this thing that you consider to be a positive good for Americans.
We also needed to meet a need that we had in this country for more tests and a shortage of tests, and the understandable demand from people across this country to get tests and make them free and accessible, which required us purchasing some of those tests from China in order to meet that demand. But that doesn't change our commitment to increasing our U.S. manufacturing to ensure that we will be able to meet that demand.
They're hiding out. They can't get to the U.S. because of issues with a special immigrant visa. Does the administration consider it a priority to get these people out of Afghanistan? And if so, why are they still there 6 months after we withdrew?
From the beginning, we've been able to evacuate more than 120,000 people from Afghanistan. Some American citizens, many of them Afghan partners and allies, people who have fought alongside us during the 20-year war. And that is the largest evacuation since the Vietnam War.
When Matt talked about that week of job, the reports where we get the numbers from, the indexing piece, we had 9 million people that had the coronavirus that week, the Omicron variant that week. The virus has wreaked complete havoc in this country, in this world, for the last 2 years, but in particular last month.
Yesterday, the national debt passed $30 trillion for the first time. Does the administration see that as a problem, or do you share the view of some economists that debt doesn't matter?
He's committed to a sustainable and responsible policy in ensuring that our long-term investments are fully paid for, like Build Back Better. I'd also note that this stands in significant contrast from the previous administration and Republicans in Congress, which passed a $1.5 trillion tax cut for wealthy taxpayers.
Senator Lujan has been hospitalized after suffering a stroke. In addition to offering well wishes, of course, some of his Democratic colleagues have said this is a reminder that in such a close Senate, any unexpected development could be a challenge to moving forward their agenda.
I'm not sure what you were referring to in terms of concerns about.
For example, Senator Coons brought up yesterday that this could be a challenge for moving forward, since that 50-50 split is so critical. So is that something that the president has also considered?
Well, life is precious, as we know. You're most familiar with the average age of senators in the Senate, but that is true on both sides of the aisle.
Last week, I believe in here you said that the assessment still was that a Russian invasion is imminent. That's the word that you'd used before, that other officials have used, and you used it last week. But yesterday, the ambassador to the United Nations, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, said she would not use the word imminent. She said she does not think a Russian invasion of Ukraine is imminent. So I guess we just need some clarification on where that assessment stands right now.
I used that once. I think others have used that once, and then we stopped using it because I think it sent a message that we weren't intending to send, which was that we knew that President Putin had made a decision.
Okay, so you're not using that word.
I think I used it once last week.
But the decision now is that you're not describing it as imminent anymore.
I haven't in over a week.
A number of Florida Republicans have complained about the implementation of the new infrastructure law.
Who?
Well, certainly Governor DeSantis, Senator Rubio.
What are their complaints? I haven't even seen them.
Among the things they've complained about is they've suggested the state was shortchanged on bridge funding, that it should have gotten a bigger distribution. They've complained that the Everglades funding that was announced the other week should have been higher. Coming from Senators Rubio, Scott, and members of the House delegation who voted against the bill, does the White House have any response to lawmakers who opposed the bill in the first place, complaining that their share of the bill isn't higher?
It's pretty rich, isn't it? Mitch Lander, when he was here, quoted, I think, a Nancy Pelosi quote, so I'm just going to quote it. You know, I don't know, now I can't even remember it. But point is, even if you vote against it, you still want the money. We've seen that over the course of time. That speaks to how political a lot of these votes were, given this is funding that will help rebuild a lot of these communities. And the president will certainly be making clear who was with him and who wasn't with him.